I don't know when he opens. Eat your soup, courtesy of a loyal establishment. Jolan True.
What's this?
Oh.
Oh, Vulcan plummeek soup. And I'll bet you made it, too. You never give up hoping, do you?
Well,
What is this? Trying. If I want anything from you, I'll ask for it.
Would you make me some of that plummeek soup?
Oh, I'd be very glad to do that, Mr. Spock.
I'm not interested in eating them. This isn't chicken soup. I may be just a ship's doctor, but I make a Finnegal's Folly that's known from here to Orion.
Sounds nasty. What's the therapy?
Tryptophan lysine distillate with a generous dose of PCS.
PCS.
Pulaski's chicken soup.
You haven't lost your touch, have you?
You objected to the fact that he seemed unwilling to set aside sufficient time for you. You said he was unresponsive, that he never did the little things. You disliked the sound he made when he ate his soup.
Okay, I remember.
We are very close to the arrest. Within 2 more seconds, I believe it's whether or not our
One of us is hungry.
That would be me.
Do you mind thinking of something else? You're making me hungry.
What do you want me to think about?
Something other than a large bowl of vegetable soup.
My grandmother used to make it with peas, carrots, and
Beverly!
beans. I'm sorry.
Combat rations, Chief. Couldn't you have replicated something a little more palatable?
You don't like combat rations?
A French onion soup would have really been nice.
Miracle of science, these little combat rations.
Why spoil your appetite with soup? I've planned a wonderful meal for us, starting with plum-week soup, which I know is a traditional Vulcan favorite, followed by jumbo Romulan mollusks. You can't get those back on Vulcan anymore, can you?
Yes, but I was hoping for a little more conversation with my plum-week soup.
Ah, my mother taught me, if you try to combine talking and eating, you'll end up doing neither very well.
You wanted a meeting? Don't look at me. Eat your soup. Now, I hate soup, and I have no intention of finishing this entire bowl. So whatever you want, let's hear it.
Tomato soup.
There are 14 varieties of tomato soup available from this replicator, with rice, with vegetables, bowling in style, with pasta, with...
Plain.
What have you got there?
Real food.
You got Neelix to make some mushroom soup.
Are you kidding? The man wanted to stretch the mushrooms with just a little Leola root.
Hot or chilled?
Hot. Hot, plain tomato soup. No Hall of comic books more than 6 months old? House calls? I caught a bad cold one time when I was 9 years old. The doctor whipped up a pot of garlic soup and brought it over himself. Pilot error. But it took me a while to admit it. 14 varieties, and they can't even get plain tomato soup right.
It is zesty, isn't it? I tried following the recipe in the computer's databank, but it's so bland. So I took the liberty of spicing it up a bit. Call it plummeek soup a la Neelix. Dinner time, Mr. Shooter. We have a fine Leola root soup tonight.
I'm not hungry.
Deuterium, hydrogen sulfate, dichromate. Add a little sodium chloride and it would probably taste a lot like Neelix's soup. We should be so lucky.
May I join you?
Sure. Have a seat.
Have some soup. It's actually edible.
I don't require nourishment at this time.
When we helped the citizens of Ribos 5 resist the Borg, all we asked for was the recipe for their famous Zathnut soup. Care for a taste?
Another time, perhaps.
I'll have the pasta soup. It should be listed under Neelix 651.
Maybe I'll try that too.
I'm sure you'll like it.
I'm sure I will.
Plasma leak soup.
chicken warp core? Blanc bleu?
If his cooking's as bad as his puns, we're in trouble.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't mind giving his red alert chili a try.
Anatomically, you humans are somewhat simplistic, but what you lack biologically, you make up for with your charming optimism. Not to mention your egg drop soup.
I haven't spoken to anyone on the surface.
You can bet they're not coming up for coffee and donuts. Can I get you something? Thanks to Sub-Commander T'Pol, our chef has learned to make some pretty decent plomeek soup. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite restaurants in San Francisco makes the most wonderful turtle soup. You should try it sometime if you're ever in the area.
Wait, no, you've been talking about the egg drop soup at this place for as long as I've known you.
I'm sure you and Ensign Mayweather will enjoy it. Now, if it's not too much trouble,
I'll bring you some takeout.
Is that not part of it?
I believe it is.
Perhaps you should appear to enjoy your soup, sir.